is timeless, so it doesn't really matter when you view it from when I record it. During this reading, I'm really going to try and create the entire picture of who you were in your past life, whatever past life is coming through. And my intention is to pick up on the past life that is most relevant to the situation and experiences that are unfolding in this life, okay? As always, all tarot decks used and the meaning of their placement is in the description below. So Sagittarius, let's see who you were in a previous life. Oh, I feel a shock. We have transportation, spirituality and religion, and unrequited love. So I have many different cards that I'm actually going to draw from several decks to really paint this picture of who you were. Based on these first three cards, that is actually from the Past Life Tarot deck, or Oracle deck, I should say, we have transportation. So there was a lot of movement in your life, whether that was physically you were on the go, or just your life in general was constantly, changing and moving and shifting around. And then you have spirituality and religion. So that was a primary focus of your life, your past life. And then we have this unrequited love. So this could go either way. This could be that perhaps you married somebody that you didn't love, or somebody that really didn't love you married you, or there was some sort of rejection either on your side or the side of somebody else that was quite significant in your life. So, Sagittarius, let's pull a court card to get an idea of what your zodiac sign was in your past life. What was your sun sign energy? We have the Sage of Chalice. So, for many of you, what this tells me is you incarnated under the Piscean energy, or the Piscean energy was very strong in your astrological chart. And now, since this is coming out as the Sage, this is the divine feminine aspect of the Piscean energy. So this, for some of you, could very well mean you were a Pisces female, okay? But since this is general, this could also mean that you really embodied the feminine energies and aspects of the Piscean energy. So many Sagittariuses I'm reading for, you are showing up as a Pisces in your past life, and your South Node is supposed to speak of your zodiac sign in your past life. So those of you that know your South Node, Pisces, this reading is very strong for you. Now I'm going to pull another card that speaks of you, but more of your personality, okay? Aside from that Piscean energy. Pisces are very intuitive, wise, dreamy, imaginative, empathic. There's also the downside of Pisces. They can just get very lost in themselves, get very depressed, kind of get stuck in a victim mentality. I'm a Pisces, so I can say that, and nobody can hate on me. First-hand Pisces experience right here. Reverse King, assistance, control. So, Sagittarius, your personality was very dominant. It's interesting because this here is feminine energy. This here is a very masculine energy. So some of you could have had like an earth sign as your rising sign, or a lot of earth in your chart as well. With this card, you were very helpful in whatever it is that you were doing, whether it was in your profession, within your family, within your friend structure, your community structure, social circles. You were somebody that many people could go to for assistance of all different types. Okay, so as we draw more cards, we'll get more of an idea of what this specific energy is talking about. But with control here, you were like a dominant force in your own life. You weren't somebody that I would say was a pushover. You wore the pants in a very significant situation in your life, or just overall in general. So very interesting mix of energy there, Sagittarius. So let's take a look here at your personality traits, or the traits of you. It could be good or bad, but what were, like the two strongest traits about your personality, your energy, who you were in this past life? Because we know you were really into spirituality and religion, so, which I'm not surprised coming through with this water energy. We have playfulness. So you had a very fun personality, a lightness about your energy. You could have been a jokester or a prankster, just had a very wonderful sense of humor. You could have been very childlike with your imagination and your energy. There could have been an innocence about you, but in general, this is saying like you were a very fun personality, very fun energy to be around. Adventure, and I'm not surprised to see this with transportation. So this to me really confirms that you did a lot of traveling in your past life, and there's no really point of reference of time frame here. So depending on your age now, this could have been, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 200 years ago. It's different for everybody. This is a general reading. So with these two cards paired up together is just saying, like, you did a lot of traveling. You saw a lot of the country that you lived in, or maybe even all over the world. Okay, but again, paired up with this playfulness and adventure, you were a very fun person to be around. Probably like the life of the party. I get that you were really popular, and I'm kind of picking up now with this unrequited love. Some of you, this to me was more like a stalker, like somebody that you did not return the affection and the emotion to. It's like somebody was really into you, and like maybe even stalked you, and was just a traumatic experience because it's coming through so strong. This is general, so it can go the other way, but I just, with your personality, the way it's showing up, I just feel like this was unwanted attention that you received. Okay, so let's pull some dreams of Gaia on that energy there, like of your past life, how all of this really played out. And also give us more details about who you are, what you experienced, what you did for profession. And we had a jumper, so that one definitely had to come out. So our jumper is the self. Yeah, because of this transportation, or this traveling, this movement about, This, for some of you, this could have been by choice, and others of you, it could have had something to do with your profession. Maybe even some of you were in the military. But with this card, some of you may have actually chosen to not really partake in romantic relationships at some point in your life. Perhaps the one you love, you were a widower, you lost them early, or you broke up and you were just like, I will never love again, or maybe you just weren't even interested in romantic love, because so far that's not really coming through. And now we have the Self here, so some of you could have chosen to spend the majority of your life without a partner. Also with this, you were very in tune with who you are, very balanced. Let's take more cards. Yeah, we have Wisdom here, right under Spirituality. King of Air. And Knowledge. Yeah. Sagittarius, that's not to say that you guys didn't have any sort of romantic connections, but this life that I'm picking up on, that's not what it was about. I mean, good God, you have Self, and then Wisdom, and then the King of Air. This is speaking to somebody, and then Knowledge. This is speaking to somebody who is very curious about life, about technology. It could be about the esoteric, metaphysics, science, math, history, language, you name it, okay? That's this energy. You were a very curious individual in your past life, and your focus was more on knowledge and obtaining that rather than romance. It's like you wanted to see and experience every culture, go as many places as you could go to explore and to learn. Some of you actually, I feel like, could have been scientists or physicists, and then with Wisdom and spirituality and religion, some of you could have been very predominant in the religion that you ascribed yourself to. But with playfulness and adventure, you were, despite your seriousness and focus, you were still very fun energy, very lovely personality to be around. So this unrequited love, I really want to get to, like, what is that really speaking about? So let's draw some gypsy cards to define this energy a bit more. We have the House, Prison, Soldier, and Fortune. Yeah, so I did mention military for some of you, and we have Soldier here. Some of you were in the military, okay? That pairs nicely with this Horse King. But for others of you, this is talking about just, again, your focus towards whatever knowledge you were seeking, whatever you were trying to master. But with House and Prison here, and then also Soldier, you know, some of you may have actually been a prisoner of war or something along those lines, or maybe some of you even went to jail. We do have this spirituality and religion going, so depending on which era of time you were born into, perhaps you went against the grain of what was acceptable and what was allowed, and perhaps you were imprisoned for that. Some others of you, you could have literally spent time in jail for something or other. But with Fortune here, it looks like your finances were wonderful. And I'm not surprised with, transportation and adventure that there was like a lot of traveling. And, with the house to show up, to me, there was a great stability about you in your life. And I really feel like it has to do with your finance and your career. Like, that was your primary focus, is finance, career, education, knowledge, understanding the mysteries of the universe. And your religion, your faith, whatever it is that you believed in, really carried you, pushed you to seek these greater truths, this bigger understanding. So let's pull a Flames card to see, where were you at in your soul cycle in this life? Wow, we have the Ten of Flames. Okay, that explains a lot, actually. That explains why you probably were not really focused on romantic love. You were the one rejecting people, Sagittarius. So in this lifetime, you may have experienced some rejection in the love department, because that was not where your mind was at. Okay, that's not what you were focused on. You were at the end of a soul cycle in this particular life here. Okay, it's no wonder that you were completely intellectual and spiritual and not really interested in the human experiences of love and connection. So let's pull a crystals card to see. I mean, it looks like money was good. We have fortune here, but maybe you lost a fortune. Did you lose it or gain it? Let's see. You worked very hard for your fortune. You spent your whole life, Sagittarius, just anything that caught your interest, any hobby, talent. It's not really coming through exactly what this knowledge, this wisdom is about. I feel very strongly it was, spiritual. You were really digging into the deeper questions of life, the bigger mysteries of the universe, not just outwardly through knowledge, but inwardly through the wisdom of your own soul and the faith in your religion or spiritual practice and belief, okay? And you learned many things in this lifetime. And the fortune, the money that you had was by your own doing and own creation. So, since I'm not seeing a whole lot of emotional connections and romance happening in your past life, let's just take a look, which is interesting because you're coming through as this Piscean energy, but, at the same time, I guess, you were just at the end of a soul cycle. It just wasn't really what your agenda was. And in saying that, look at this. We have the Eight of Cups, walking away. Yeah, so what I feel when it comes to love and romance for you guys, either you just had a bunch of craptastic relationships and maybe there was somebody who really rejected you, so you just cut yourself off from love and romance and pursued, this knowledge. You became an intellectual. Or some of you, it doesn't even have to be that you were burned in a romantic relationship or multiple romantic relationships. You decided to walk away from love and romance. Like, it just didn't interest you. It didn't captivate you. You were interested in much bigger things. So, very interesting that this card played out. And we have two eights side by side. Speaking of past life energy for you guys, that's the, infinity symbol right there. Let's pull an orbs card to see what your greatest challenge was in this past life. Whoa, yeah. We have 10 of orbs here. Okay, yeah, definitely. Some of you were burned and screwed over really badly. Um, this could be romantically. This could be by your family, by friends. There's some betrayal, like being stabbed in the back here with this card. This was your challenge energy in your past life. And just by what I'm seeing here, yeah, I feel like somebody really burned you. And you know what else? You have 2 8s, 2 10s, the infinity symbol, and the completion of cycle. That's pretty magical. I really like how that came out. Yeah, Sagittarius, it just, you walked away from love and romance and focused on spirituality and knowledge, living, more of an intellectual life, connecting with the non-physical, than connecting with people here on earth. And because we have wisdom here, and this is like, a hermit kind of off on his own, and we have this self here, for some of you, you just outright rejected everybody at some point in your life, friends, family, lovers, like you just had enough, and you were like, no more. I'm not getting emotionally attached or involved with anybody. And this unrequited love is coming through really, really strong. I'm understanding it. You could have been really burned or rejected, and it just totally turned you off from romantic love. And, some of you, though, this could just be right from the start. You just were never interested in it, and you did a lot of rejecting. So, wow. Wow, that's all I can say, Sagittarius. Your last life was not so much about the love and romance. It was all about knowledge and completing a soul cycle. You have 8 and 10 here. Big things happening. Lots of soul growth and expansion. You are a very wise soul, Sagittarius. Very wise soul this life. So I'm going to look at the karma, for the good or the bad, that comes forth with you from this lifetime. And because your numbers are so high, you lived a very long life, especially with these cards up here as well. You did not die young in your past life, the life that I am picking up on. Yeah, look at this. Ascension. This goes great with the 10s here, okay? And I just want to point out, you have 2 10s in your reading. The Roman numeral up here, if you can see, 2x is equals 10, 10, and 1, because this is card 21. So yeah, you completed some cycles here, and now with the 1 is a new beginning. Your soul ascended. That is why you completely turned away from love and romance and all of that. You chose a life of spiritual ascension. Like, this was your path, this was your journey intended for this past life, and you ascended, okay, on a spiritual level. You completed a lot of stuff and really expanded your soul, and a new beginning came for you in the next life that follows this. Wow, abundance. You are meant to have an abundant experience. Whatever you accomplished here, all this knowledge, this fortune that you acquired, that energy is meant to follow you. You're meant to have abundance and material comfort this life. I really feel that even though you had that fortune and you did see a lot of the world or the country in which you lived, I don't think it really mattered to you, and that's why you had so much money, because life was more about the spirit, and it's the ascension of your soul, your spiritual awakening, okay? And so that material energy follows you because it's rightfully yours, but that's not where your focus was when you created it. And oh my gosh, look at this. Wow. Yeah, you ascended, Sagittarius. So look at, this is like the same card. Do you see that? This is card 9. This is card 10. Oh, I didn't even recognize that. Look at that. You have 3 10s in this reading. And look, abundance is the 3 right there. Yeah. So you're bringing forth 3 masterships of your soul into this lifetime, okay? Your soul wisdom off the charts. It exists within you, okay? Your wisdom can light any dark path. You can awaken people. You can help people ascend this lifetime. You might be very religious or spiritual this lifetime because of this energy. But what this tells me is you earned something. You earned your mastery, okay? You are a elder soul, if you want to look at it that way. You are wise, Sagittarius. You completed major stuff in this last lifetime, and you turned away a lot from the physical indulgences of the human experience and focused on spirituality and the bigger questions of life. And you found the answers, and they come forth with you into this lifetime, okay? Because we're looking at the karma that comes forth with you for the good or the bad. And I don't see bad karma here. This is a very spiritual, wise being that comes forth because of this past life. So, Sagittarius, your past life, the one that's coming through in this reading, you ascended to the highest degree, okay? We have water energy here, we have air energy here, and we have some earth energy. So the only thing that is not coming through at all is fire energy, okay? So not surprised that you are a fire sign this lifetime, starting a brand new journey, okay? You completed ascension with the water, with the earth, with the air, and now it's time to take that ascension into the fire energy. Beautiful reading. Not at all what I expected to come through. This energy, Sagittarius, I'm sorry. You were very spiritual. And, you know, with this prison card and the self and the wisdom, I think you just felt very alone a lot of your life, even though you were fun and playful, and a lot of people came to you for advice, for instruction, for guidance. You yourself felt very alone within a prison within yourself, or a prison within your home, okay? For some of you, because we have the Ten of Orbs here, perhaps, and the Soldier as well, perhaps you were in an accident of some kind, or you were in a war and it disabled you, and you became feeling like a prisoner within your own home. And maybe that's why you turned to spirituality and religion and became an intellect. You know, for some of you, something definitely happened to you that, you know, put you in a place where love and romance and connection with others just really wasn't available, or, you know, something happened here, Sagittarius. It's just in the cards. Some of you, this was just outright your own choice, just to separate yourself and focus on, you know, this energy. But also with the transportation and all this energy of solitude and everything, some of you may have just traveled the lands on foot, sharing your knowledge and wisdom with others, helping others ascend, okay? And you just had this energy that many people could connect to, but you just seem like this very wise, like preacher, minister, guru, Buddhist, just not an energy that is here for the human experience. Not at all. We're completing a soul cycle that, wow, just huge expansion. And all of that comes with you from lifetime to lifetime going forward. Like, what you achieve is never taken from you. So you guys did have money and you worked for that, but something happened and you spent, I'm going to say, just because we also have this 8 and this 10s here, you spent, I think, a large part of your life alone, feeling imprisoned within yourself, within your home, in a literal prison. And that's how, like, it was just you and yourself, you and the universe, not so many people, okay? Even if people were around you, if anything, you lit the way, you lit the path for them, and you were very old when you passed. Very old and wise, and, probably honored, some of you, because with this King of Air, if you were like a Native American or in any sort of tribe, it's like you were the elder, you led a group of people, you were just, I don't know, somebody important when it comes to leadership and guidance and directing, and love and romance just was not on your agenda, Sagittarius, I'm sorry to say. So hopefully this life you've experienced a lot of romance, but that just was not your focus. It was all about your soul ascending, and I think this is actually quite a lovely reading. So